Hello everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty well, except for the fact I haven't gotten any head work done today because I've been busy doing something else. And it might surprise you guys, but it is. The fuel tank is in, and it's getting a new pump. And as you can see, there is a lot of cobwebs to be dusted off this old car. Quite a few. So my motivation may surprise you, because I've told you guys for a long time that I was going to get this car running and go to the track, and it hasn't done it yet. So my motivation may catch you off guard a little bit. In case you guys don't know, it's a stock bottom end, short block, 100%, never been touched, except we had to get the rust out of the cylinders twice with sandpaper. Dual plane intake, 750 carburetor, and these old headers that my friend gave me that were bashed in to fit a Windsor. Does have a camshaft in it that we had to knock the pistons in the motor while it was in the car, and that was not a pretty sight. If anybody would have seen us doing that, trying to avoid all the metal going down to the cylinders, well, it was a job in itself, but we did it. And the engine's been around in this car for a few years, couple years, and then the green car, well, 3 or 4 years, I guess. And then it was in our other friend's car for about a year or two before that, before he got it. We don't know how long that engine was in the car. So you're talking quite a few years, the same engine being around, still running, not split in half. And we're gonna see how it runs when we fire it back up. It started getting a little bit weak towards the end, and we think it was due to fuel problems. So that's where this comes into play. Different pump, put a sump in the tank, and we're going, if that was the problem, because it was down 8 miles per hour at least, maybe 10. I forget, I don't want to mislead anybody. But now I'm going to tell you what the motivation is for me getting this car up and running. Kept you waiting long enough, guys. We've been called out, and it started out the same old malarkey that we hear time and time again. Unfortunately, my son gets put through the ringer, and I do too, because nobody wants to believe what we have is what we say it is. I don't understand why that would be. I'll tell you who understands more than anybody, unfortunately, is our friends from Australia have no problem believing when we say what we have. And I'm going to tell you on my wavelength why that would be. It's because them guys know how to make power, and they know what it takes to do what we're doing, and they probably already have done the same thing, and to them it's just a walk in the park, where other people have a problem for some reason. Now I understand why doing what we do, the stockheads and junk. So here we go. We got called out by a 400 plus cubic inch race weekend warrior Malibu. And this is not a race car right here, guys. This is my everyday driver is what it's supposed to be, till I let the insurance go and I let the car sit. So that was my fault. Well, it's my fault in a way, but look, you have to use common sense. When you have to pay bills, you have to pay your bills. So therefore, when you only need one vehicle and you're getting by with one vehicle, that's what I'm doing. And it's over there, the Pontiac. So this was started to be a little thing for me to play with, my own Mustang. So that might give somebody a little bit of insight on what the car is about. And I might as well do this. I've done this before, but I'm going to show you guys. Now, another thing I'm tired of hearing about, the car is light. Is Grumpy Jenkins' cars light back in the day? Was Bob Glidden's car light? Is John Force's car light? Is a race car of any of your friends have? Are they light? Why is it a big deal what a car weighs when it's a 302? This car is 100%, all but a few things. I have the bar off the front. Yes, that's removed. Ooh, forgive me for that. It weighed about 10 pounds. And in the place of that, I put frame connectors in. So that makes up for that weight. I have a brace bar on the rear. So that added weight. But outside of that, I'm going to scream, I think, if I hear one more person talk about the weight of my vehicle. It's factory Ford, and I can't help what a Mustang weighs. If you have a problem with that, guys, build a lighter car. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I get a little upset about this because when I had my truck right here back in the day, it weighed 4,000 pounds. And nobody wanted to hear that that truck was 4,000 pounds. Not this one, but one like it. So that was one of them deals where they were right. But I didn't build the truck to race. I was just out there racing. I was out there having fun. So that's what that was all about. But when I would beat somebody, they would be upset. And I didn't pick on slow vehicles. I was racing everything at the time with my truck like this that was out. Grand Nationals, the Mustangs, the Camaros, Chevelles with big blocks. So that's how that went. Because you know why? I'm a racer. I don't look for a win. I don't go out looking just to race somebody knowing I have it covered. And that's what it seems like you have a lot of today. You know, guys on my channel are going to understand that. They're going to say, Terry, that's right, we went out racing and it was what it was, and if you had something good enough, you won. And sometimes you could win without something good enough, depending on how your vehicle ran. So it's one of them deals where you have to pick and choose your battles. But what I'm not going to do is argue with this guy with the Malibu. I'm just going to put up or shut up. And in this case, it's put up. Win or lose, it's just like a boxing game. You could have a champion that wins every fight, and then he might not win some of his battles, but some he does and some he don't. So we go into this with open eyes, knowing what we're up against, but we're willing to take the shot at it. And that's what we do. That's what racing should be about. Not because you think a guy runs a certain number and you run a lot better number and you want to run that car just to say you beat that person. I don't do things like that, guys. I like knowing that we do the best we can with what we have. And maybe if this car don't do the job, maybe we have something more his category that will at least a little bit better chance. So another thing we do here is we work on 2 or 3 things at a time every day. Well, most days. It'd be nice to work on one vehicle, but we have to work on 2 or 3 at a time most of the days. The old blades we're trying to work bugs out of that still. So, as best we can, what we have. So anyway, I'll be most likely putting that on YouTube when we run that Malibu. How long will it be? I don't know, because I have to get this car tuned in this time. The last 2 times I've run somebody with that Mustang over there, it was like this. Sitting in the yard, we fired it up and went out racing after it's sitting like this. And it's never come to my advantage doing that. Anybody that's seen the car on the track, when my son posted some things, you could tell that car was far from up to par. It was off so bad. I mean, a half a second to a second, depending on what run you see. And it's also drifting in 3rd gear. So I hit 3rd, it looks like I'm cutting the wheel, and you would think the guy don't know how to drive. But the car's just veering very hard to the right. It fights you through 2nd, but when you land running the 3rd, then the car veers. So I have to get that straightened out. I think the rear, after bragging up about me having the polyurethane bushings in it, I think maybe they may be have to be upgraded to steel bushings, which I don't like. But which it may have to possibly go that route. But we'll do what we have to do to get this where it has to be safe before it does any racing, I'll tell you that. And it's far from the way we need it to be to win any races with it. Unless I go pick on a few people that I know we can beat. What fun's that? It's not about making somebody look bad, it's about knowing that you did your best to beat another vehicle. Not an easy win. That's how I look at things. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this segment, and I hope people understand where I'm coming from, because it's hard enough getting one vehicle running, and as you can see, we're working on 3 different things right now. So yeah, because I have stuff in the garage because I'm working on for the old truck, but most of the day is going directed to the Mustang. So we'll just keep on hammering, guys. Maybe we'll get something together here soon. You'll see a little bit of action. We might need a little bit of support, putting some money up here. So anybody wants to take a gamble on a little 302 here? Nah, we always handle that on our own too, unless somebody wants to get in on the pot. That's something that always seems to work out at the last minute anyway. People put money up when it's supposed to be a free race half the time. So, but anyway, have a good day, everybody. And I gotta get back to work, or we won't see this car running at all. I'm running out of daylight here. Have a good one, guys. God bless you. Take care.